Hello and welcome to GBR. You find us today racing with the guys from the MRC in the GTTCC Season 21. This is round 4, race 2. We just had race 1 at St. Croix B reverse. So this will be the reverse grid for the second one for the elite drivers. So I'll run through the grid. So we do have Bazza on pole with less stickers this time. Clearly the sponsors didn't like being represented on the car. In second we have Golden Brownie with still rocking the NASCAR livery from the last round. In third we have Mayer. In fourth we have Staffy. In fifth place we have Ginge. In sixth we have James, obviously making his special appearance for this round. Not too sure if he'll carry on for the rest of the season. In seventh place we have Jahinio. In eighth we have ADG. In ninth we have The Crow. And in 10th place we have Mark, obviously with a fairly decent race from the last one. So that is your drivers for this one. As you can see, we are at Monza for this race, but we do have a different layout. This is no chicane, so the first chicane completely taken out. So the first corner is Curva Grande. So let's get these guys underway for half an hour of racing. We've got 5 lights and away we go. Look like Mark there got a slow start off the line at the back there, but now we're just going to be absolutely full throttle as we come round past where they would be starting to think about braking for the first chicane. They just fly straight across it and carry on past. Everyone seems to be, we're going to go 3 wide by the looks of it, up between Staffy, Jay and Ginge. A little bit of bump between Staffy and Jahinio. Ginge saves that one, but that's going to drop him down. That's going to lose a bit of speed as we come up to the technically second chicane, but on the for this race it'll be the first chicane. But Ginge dropped all the way to the back of the pack at the moment. Bazza's picked up a 1 second, and so is Mayer. Just jump on Chase Cam and see how they got that one. A little bit deep there from Bazza, and Mayer followed suit as well. Just cut the nose off of Jahinio there in the third. So James got up to third ahead of Golden Brownie, and Golden has dropped a couple of spaces. He's got James there on the inside of him through Lesmo 1 and now Lesmo 2. I've got it right, Bazza. Be proud of me. But it's all quite close together at this back of the pack. Everyone is still there as well. No one's dropped off, but Bazza and Mayer absolutely checking out at the moment. But they have got this 1 second penalty that they're going to be serving this time round. So it's going to drop them into the rest of the field. Let's stay with Mayer because he's closer to Jahinio than Bazza. So I think Bazza may stay out in first, will he? Or will Jahinio get past him? Let's see. It looks like Jahinio's just been able to get past after Bazza's served that penalty. James there up to third place. Golden Brownie with a 1.5 second penalty. I know that was into Ascari, cutting that left-hander. I remember that corner very well from the evening racing. Golden's going for the move there on James. Jahinio's doing a lot of weaving, so you only really allow one move down the straight before picking to your line. So not really too sure on the tactic there from Jahinio. Don't know if the stewards will look at that one, but we're going 3 wide between ADG, Golden Brownie and James. Has just back out of that one. Crow there looking up the inside of James, and so is Mayer. Oh, slight tap there between James and Mayer coming in, but penalties galore at the moment. Golden Brownie with 1.5. Bazza's gone out wide coming through the second chicane. Crow there, he's got a 1 second penalty. Not too sure if anyone else has. No one else has got a penalty, so this is going to be interesting with these two having to serve this penalty. Oh, Bazza's picked up a half second. He's moved up to second place. How's Bazza? Oh, is that from just that exit there from Bazza? Just slowed him down enough to let Golden Brownie get past. Yes, it has. He picked up a half second penalty for going off track and losing quite a bit of time. So that's unfortunate there for Bazza. And the Crow there going for a move up the inside of AGG through Lesmo 2. So AGG back down to 5th. Where's James now? James down to 7th place. I think he was 3rd when he crossed the line. And down to 7th. It shows you how close these guys are fighting even this early on in the race. But we go to, where's the guys with the penalties? Oh, Eugenio's picked up a 1 second as well. So this is going to be interesting. Who's going to come actually out in first place after these guys serve these penalties? AGG having to thread the needle, looks like it, through Bazza and Golden. And he's gone up to second place. Eugenio's obviously got enough of a gap to keep out in first place. So everyone chopping and changing positions at the minute. Bazza down to 3rd place. Mayer and James going for side-by-side action across the line. Mayer's had to, James had to slip in behind Mayer there. Great camera angle there. There was a free wide going on. Golden Brownie, Ginge and Crow across the line. Golden Brownie's dropped down to 10th place after that penalty. And they're going to go 2 wide are Ginge and Crow by the looks of it. Ginger's been able to get in front of Crow. Golden Brownie's going to stay in the slipstream of Ginge. It's coming up to the first braking section of the track. Side by side action through there. Little bump, nothing to worry about. How have they gone up so far? Bazza's down to 9th place. What's happened to Bazza? Let's jump on. Oh, he gets reset. Who did he have? He had ADG, May. Oh, everyone behind him. The only person not behind him is Eugenio. Just coming up. Oh, looks like he broke very late there, did Bazza. Tried to cut the corner, gets reset. And it looked like James got reset as well there. Oh, good bit of ghosting there between Bazza and James. But that's Bazza down to 9th place now. So not the best of starts for Golden and Bazza. Both started on the front row, down to 8th and 9th now. And James there just off the back of Bazza. Hopefully he's not going to be too far out of that slipstream. But the only person at the moment, well, obviously he did have a 1 second penalty on the last lap, but just checking out at the moment is Eugenio in first place, ADG there in second, Mayer and Mark. He's been very quiet. He's worked his way up to 4th place at the moment, just slowly biding his time, knowing there's a lot of laps around Monza. Probably we're going to go for, say, 16 laps for this one. Mayer and Mark side by side. Staffy just behind, looking to pick up the pieces from these two. Staffy's going to sit in behind, get the slipstream from these two. Ginge there, he's got a 1 second penalty. Golden Brownie's got a 1.5 second penalty. Bazza's sat behind. Golden Brownie, just is he going to go for the middle? No, the gap just closes up for Golden Brownie. And who have we got? We've got Staffy, Mayer side by side. Mark and Mayer, side by side, coming into Curve Grinder for the 4th time. Someone off. Who is that off? Looks like Golden. He's going slow. Ooh, looks like he was unsighted there coming into the first corner and just touches grass. That's going to drop him back down to 10th place. It looks like James is going to get past as well. And obviously going to drop off right off the back with that 1.5 second penalty as well. Ginge will drop off from this. What is this battle for third place? All this battling, it's allowing ADG to just put away a little bit from the rest of this pack. Obviously, Eugenio there. How far is he ahead? About 3-4 seconds ahead of ADG already, and we've only not even 7 minutes into the race. But the real battle is for third at the moment between Maya and Mark. Staffy just behind Crow, Ginge and Bazza, all in the mix as well. Obviously, any of these guys pick up a half-second or 1 second penalty, they'll drop to the back of this pack, maybe out the slipstream. See what happens to Ginge here, as he's going to serve this 1 second penalty. Right there, it's going to allow Bazza to get past, and James will get past as well. Golden Brownie's had to serve his penalty, so he's well out of the slipstream by the looks of it at the moment. But Ginge there, he might just be tagging on to James's slipstream in front of him. Obviously James is going to be in the slip of Bazza, and obviously such like all the way up to Maya there in... Oh no, Mark's got past Maya. How did that one happen? Was that into... into Ascari. Mark just went for the late inside move there into Ascari, and that's allowed him to get up to third place now, and ahead of this slipstream train. And he's coming around to start lap 5 already. But yeah, ADG there with a nice little lead over, or gap over Mark. But Eugenio there, he's the one in the lead, 5 seconds or so ahead of ADG already. ADG is about just over 2 seconds to this gaggle of cars. They're going to try and make it 3 wide. No, they're not. They're going to stick 2 by 2 coming into the chicane. They all go single file here. Crow there going up the inside of Mark. Little tap from Crow or Mark, but all fair game between the drivers. Don't know if Crow got overtaken by Staffy there as well. Maybe just got late on the power being on the inside. Staffy got a good drive up towards Lesmo 1, and now he's going to have a shot at trying to get past Maya. He was holding that last spot on the podium at the moment. Side by side, Staffy is going on the inside of Maya. The cameraman clearly didn't want to watch that one. But that's Staffy now onto the last spot on the podium, but he's going to have Maya, Crow and Mark in the slipstream, just trying to get past him, because the slipstream's fairly strong, especially down the start finish straight. Definitely does help. But Crow there going up the inside of Maya, up towards Parabolica. Just gets up the inside. Mayor's had to back out with the power there, and he's now slipped back behind Mark as well, will he? Crow there using all the track available that he can. And Crow and Staffy very close. Coming down here, there's that bump drafting happening between Staffy and Crow, which isn't allowed apart from if we're on an oval track, so I don't think the stewards will see that one nicely between the two drivers. I don't know why Crow didn't try and go for the move. Mayer's coming with an absolute send in towards who's that? Staffy on board. Let's go on board with Mayer. Coming up here, you want to start breaking about 100, and he's broke it about 75 and just sent it into Staffy. He is waiting, but he's waiting on the exit of the corner. Not the best place to be waiting. He's caught up Ginge as well, and Staffy there struggling to get going out of the gravel. That's unfortunate for Staffy. It wasn't just the victim of just a late braking from Mayer. So that's going to drop them down to 9th and 10th now. Ginge there, he's got front end damage, so he did get caught up in that as well. So yeah, just obviously if you are moving off the racing line, yeah, you you do have a lap to do it, to let the car pass. That is kind of an unwritten rule in the MRC, so yeah, don't just wait up straight away, get round to a safe part on the track, even if it's down this straight, just pull over, let the car that you took out past, and then carry on with the race. Obviously if you're in the chat during the race, obviously let the guy know, so I'll carry on till it's a safe part to do so. But leading the way after 6 laps is Genio with about a 5-second gap. He's doing pretty similar lap times, 50.4, 50.3, 0.7. Yeah, so about similar lap times between J and ADG in second place. Obviously these guys, they're all fighting, so their lap times aren't going to be the fastest. Due to that, but Crow is in 3rd place at the moment. Bazza there, you can just see in the background, just probably in the slipstream, just getting slowly pulled along by these 3 up in front of him. But Crow 3rd, Mark 4th, James there in 5th. So James and Bazza both got reset through this chicane, and they've worked their way up to, say, 5th and 6th at the moment. Who's that with a penalty? That is Ginge there with a 1-second penalty, just behind Golden Brownie, and Mayer there in 9th. Looks like Staffy's car was too damaged to carry on the race, so he's had to pull into the pit, and it looked like it was too bad to carry on, and retired the car. But Mayer goes very deep into Lesmo 1 there. Might have missed the braking point once again, but the action really is for this 3rd spot on the podium. Still these 4 drivers pushing each other to the limit. Not too sure who the fastest was. Last time out, it looked like it was James there by a couple of attempts over Bazza, and they're about a second quicker than the 2 in front of them, so I suppose they did get caught up in the incident between Mayer and Staffy. But Crow there, he's pulled a little bit of a gap over Mark this time around, a 50.4 to a 50.8. Mark's fastest lap of the race as well, so just not been able to keep up with Crow at the moment. But James and Bazza looking mighty close. They're going to make it 3 wide. They split Mark in the middle of the sandwich, and they both go round him just because Mark just didn't have the, well, he did have slip from Crow, but it wasn't as strong as it was for Bazza and James. But will Mark try and go for a late braking move up towards the chicane? No, he won't. He will slip back into 6th place now. So James and Bazza up to 4th and 5th, doing a stellar job at the moment. Golden Brownie 7th, a little bit of a gap to him and Ginge there, but Ginge did have that penalty to serve on the last lap, so that's why there was a gap between them 2. But Crow there using all the racetrack he can to try and break that slipstream to James in 4th place. See Genio and ADG still 1st and 2nd, nice little gaps between them. But obviously the action really is here at the minute between these 4 drivers. Jump on board. This is the view from Crow's rear window. Just sees the GTR of James at the moment, as they're all just staying in that slipstream because they know it's absolutely king around here. And there you go, there you can see Bazza and Mark as we go through this last corner onto the start finish straight, and then back in line again. As I say, using all that track that he can is Crow. So I love this camera angle, very nice camera. I wish there was more of that in the game. So these 4 are just going to settle in here for the time being. We are already halfway through the race, so absolutely flying by, just like race 1 did. Come on, Brenny, with another 1.5 second penalty. Just penalties galore at the moment for Golden Brownie. I'll tell you that he's in 1st place. What's the gap now? Yeah, still about 5 seconds. They're doing very similar lap times are these two. But the Crow went half a second quicker than ADG the last time round. So they've stopped the fighting and they're now pushing on, and they really are. They're going to try and catch up. James, their fastest lap of the race, 49.7. So he was 6 tenths quicker than Crow, but he must have had a bit of a mess up this lap round because he has dropped off the rear end of Crow. As they're 50.4, they're all setting their fastest lap of the race now, are these 4 drivers. Mark was shuffled out because of the start-finish straight, being in the middle of the sandwich. Golden Brownie there, he served his penalty, so that's now allowed Ginge to get up to 7th place. And I don't think Ginge will potentially gain any more places. The guys being out the back here, out the slipstream, going to be hard to catch back up. They're in 9th place. Yeah, ooh, here we go. James and Bazza now, they're side by side. James is going to have a slight little bit of an advantage being in the toe of Crow, and then it's going to go to the benefit of Bazza now, because Crow will take to the inside and give Bazza the slipstream. Obviously Bazza being on the inside line as well as we're coming into the chicane. Bazza does get that one, moves up to 4th place, and now his sights are going to be set firmly on the rear end of Crow and that Pompey badge. Let's see how far. Yeah, there we go. There's the gap between him and Crow, probably just about a second, I would say. So he's just in the toe of Crow, so he needs to have a good Ascari to close that gap, to be getting pulled along nicely and not give all that slipstream he can to James and Mark behind. Let's go through Ascari here. So I might jump on with... Who do I jump on board with? I might jump on board with Crow for a lap guide in a second. When he comes across the line. Mark there, here's a little look at James coming into Parabolica. Yeah, right, let's jump on board. Let's drive in the passenger seat for a lap of Monza with no chicane. So we start the lap here, all the way to the right hand side of the track for Crow, moves over to the left, coming over the tower there on the left hand side there. This is where you'd be thinking about braking for the chicane on the right hand side there. This time we are just flying straight past it into Curva Grande. Long sweeping right, don't even have to think about letting off the throttle, and then up towards the chicane, about 100 metre board, smack the brakes on, get it turned in. It's a little bit deep there from the Crow, but he's managed to save it, and then up towards Lesmo 1. It's one of the slower corners on the track in this layout, and then we've got Lesmo 2 here. Crow's picked up a half-second penalty there, going out wide. He's picked up another. It's gone off. Oh, he's crashed. This isn't the best lap guide that we could have asked for, but he's going to be waiting for. Yeah, he's going to wait for the drivers to go past. But we'll stay on with the Crow for this lap guide. Back into the passenger seat we go. Green flag, so accident all clear. He's not going to drop back down to 9th place. Mayer's dropped off quite a bit since that incident, it seems. But under the old oval track bridge and then into Ascari we go. Probably the worst part for me personally is Ascari. Always seem to be picking up penalties there. Here's the penalty line, but we'll serve that 1.5 second penalty along this back straight up towards Parabolica for a 180 corner. get the power on as early as you can to then get as much speed down the start-finish straight as you can, and that is a rather long, but there will be a lap guide there from Crow. Unfortunate there for Crow to bin it coming out of Lesmo 2. Don't think I've had that one on a lap guide before, of someone binning it, but that's obviously it's allowed everyone behind technically to move up a position. So Bazza now into 3rd place. What's his lap times? 50.6, 50.5, 50.4, 50.4. So Bazza's a couple tenths faster than ADG. Jahino's going for fastest lap of the race by the looks, but he's in the 49s. Set of 49.645. So what was James's? 49.747. So about a tenth quicker. Yeah. So a tenth quicker than James's fastest lap. But James has gone purple through sector 2. Will he be able to keep that to sector 3? And obviously it's pretty impressive for Jahino to have that fast lap, seeing he's got no slipstream at all from anyone in front of him. So impressive stuff nonetheless. Mark there in 5th, Ginge there in 6th. Got Golden Brownie not too far behind him, probably just in the slipstream range between Ginge and Golden. Crow there, he's in 8th place. So yeah, look at that, he lost 21 seconds on average roughly from that incident that he had a lap ago. And Mayer there just looks like he's struggling either with the car or the track for this race after that incident he had with Staffy. Jahino nicely taken the first chicane there, and ADG's coming in now, so let's have a look to see what the gap is between the two of them. About 10 seconds now, I think that I've said. Get to 40. Yeah, about 10 seconds between the two of them, so Jahino's really been able to pull the trigger. Yeah, he's about a second or so, 6 tenths to a second quicker than ADG for the last 4 or 5 laps. That's been able to open that gap up quite nicely for him. All he's got to do is last for the last 7 minutes. As Jahino, as they're 50.3, 4 tenths quicker than ADG the last lap round. So is Bazza going to be close enough at the end of the race to go for a move for second? But he has got James right up his tailpipes coming into Ascari. James on a 40.64. Oh, he was thousandths of a second off the fastest lap. So very, very close between James and Jahino. I think just James got a little bit unlucky at the beginning and got shuffled down to the back. Obviously it did get reset as well, so it could have been an interesting race between James and Jahino if they had been side by side through the pack and up to the front. Is this lap going to be a better one? No, 49.8. So 50.3, 50.6. Another couple of attempts taken out on ADG by Bazza. And obviously a good second. 8 attempts between James and ADG as well. So is James's tyres good? Yeah, they're all... Everyone's tyres are pretty much similar. Mark's probably got the best tyres out of anyone. I think Mayer as well, but obviously Mayer's pace not being as quick as the guys in front. He is obviously not using them as much. Oh, I've just cut to James going off track. How did that happen? With Bazza and James just gets in a little bit too hot over the barrier, the curbing, and that's just unsettled the car and just pushed him into the gravel. And that's going to allow Mark to get alongside. Is Mark going to get up to 4th place? Yes, he is. He's going to get round to Lesmo 1 first. Obviously, James is going to have dirty tyres now for a good couple of corners. There's not many corners here at Monza to shake that dirt off the tyres. It's going to allow Ginge to catch up a little bit to James, but what's Mark's lap times? 50.7. 50.5. Golden's got another 1 second penalty. Pretty standard for him round this track. It is definitely a bogey track for me, that's for sure. But it looks like Bazza is closing. It's been, 3 or 4 tenths or so the last 4 laps by the looks of it. So see what the lap time is there. Jahino's gone even faster, 49.555. But ADG's lap time 51.1. Bazza done a 50.4, so 7 tenths caught up that time round. There goes Bazza flying across the screen. And Mark there, he's still ahead of James. Yes, he is. James is in that slipstream. Ginger's too far behind to be in that slipstream, it seems. But James, will he try and get a good old slingshot through curve around in towards the first chicane? He's closing. Is it going to be close enough to go for a move? No, James puts on the brakes first before Mark. Doesn't want to go into there side by side. Probably a little bit wary after last time round. Losing, 5 seconds there. From that battle for third to now a battle for fourth place here for James. So Mark there started at the back, so he's worked his way up to fourth place at the moment, but is struggling on a bit of pace now. Maybe the tyres just start to show themselves and really struggling to get through. And Bazza, that he definitely has caught up to ADG this lap. That he's definitely in the slipstream, I would think. Jump on board. Yeah, that's definitely slipstream range there between ADG and Bazza. So this could be, has Bazza done this, timed this perfectly to try and catch up to ADG onto the last lap, because we've got 2 laps to go. I would think, yeah, he's going to cross the line with over 2 minutes left of the race. So Bazza really putting the pressure now on ADG, and Mark being under pressure from James behind as well. These two are close. ADG there, you can see just weaving down the straight, which is, again, you should really only make you one move to try and defend or break the slipstream. You don't want to be making multiple, because the steward will look into this one if you keep on doing it. It's Mayer. I was wondering who the other car was, but Bazza right up the rear end now of ADG. What was the lap time? 51.5 and a 50.1, so 1.4 seconds taken out of him that time around. James has got past Mark. Was that just from slipstream? Yes, it was. So James, just pulled out alongside Mark, used the overspeed and got past Mark into fourth place there. Where were we? There we were. Coming through the first chicane. James 2 tenths up. That would be from the slipstream to be that far up, but will James be able to keep that now to the end of the lap? No, he's got Mark behind him and going to be trying to push him on. Ginge there in 6th place, 7th there for Golden, 8th for the Crow after that unfortunate error through Lesmo 2. Mayer there in 9th, also had a little incident through the first chicane, but he's not too far ahead of Jahino in first place, who's going to come around to start the last lap of the race. Yeah, he's got 40 seconds to go with only about 5 seconds left of this lap, so he's going to start lap 17. ADG and Bazza, they should get onto the last lap as well. So Bazza's got one more shot at this one to potentially get a second place from ADG. ADG is going to do some more weaving down the start-finish straight. Bazza's had enough of it, and he's just going to slowly move over into the slipstream. James there, he's got a little bit of a gap to Mark, but I'll go for this one because this is for the second spot on the podium. Bazza there, he's got the speed. Just noticed Golden Brownie has finished in 7th place. Crow will come along to finish in 8th, and Mayor will finish in 9th. But I'll go back to the action for this last lap. Bazza there, he got past ADG before Curve Grand. He's been able to hold it off through the first chicane. Mark and James going side by side through the first chicane as well. Looks like, was James ahead of Mark? Yes, he was. So yeah, Mark's going to just use the overspeed and get past James there up towards the chicane, and just been able to hold off going through the first chicane up towards Lesmo Bump. So action between Buzz ADG and Mark and James for this last lap, so I don't know really where to look at the moment, but Buzz and ADG go on to this straight in line. Where are they? Where are they? They're coming through underneath the oval. ADG's going to go for the move up towards Ascari. This is going to be brave if he can make this one work, but it looks like Buzz is alongside. They're going side by side through Ascari. You don't see this happening many times at all, but they are still side by side as they're coming onto the back straight. Baz has been able to hold off ADG. Mark there, he's got a little bit of a gap to, I'll pause it here, so we're just coming into the 200, but Eugenio will win the race. Checked out from the lights, Bazza, he's been able to keep second place from ADG, so all that work to catch up to him, and it's paid off. It looks like Bazza's going to get second spot after being down in last place fairly early on in the race. ADG will get third, probably a little bit heartbroken not to have second. Mark there will finish in fourth, just ahead of James in fifth, and Ginge will come across to finish in sixth place. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button, and until next time, bye bye.